If Legend ZA is a sequel of Pokemon X and Y in any shape or form, then there is potential for us to see characters that we have seen in X and Y as older characters. Or if it's so far out in the future, then there's even potential to see some of their descendants. And if we see descendants, or if we see them as older, there's potential to see new shipping pairs between the characters of X and Y. Like for instance, you might see Dexio and Cena together as a couple. I mean, everyone knows that Dexio and Cena are kind of like a thing, right? Like, they never really had anything romantic going between them, but because they're like Professor Sycamore's assistants, and because they came to Alola together on vacation, but technically they were doing research and stuff, they're kind of like always seen, like they're always together, and you know, they're just seen as a good couple. You might see them as older, or you might see their descendants, and if it's old enough to the point where they have kids, you might see their kids as the professor's assistants, but you know, this time they're siblings or something like that. Or you might see a few generations down and who knows, similar banter or whatever. But I think between all the ships or all the possible pairs that you could have in a future title, I think Dexio and Cena are like the #1 lock. That's the one I think everyone would expect to see. Another common or more popular one is just the 2-player characters, Serena and Callum together, right? I guess this is like the closest thing you'd get to more shipping in the game side of things. Yeah, Serena and Callum. Since X and Y is a game that features both rival characters within the game, it's not like Black and White, you know, where Hilbert and Hilda are, like, you can only have one of them in Unova, the other one's like not in the game at all. X and Y has both Serena and Callum, and they interact with each other throughout the course of the game. The other player character is the main rival, which we don't see too often anymore in Pokemon games. Actually, we don't see too often throughout the games at all, actually. I think it's only this and then Gen 3. They take on the climax of the game together regarding the stuff with Lysander. So there's a lot there. And in general, the rival typically tends to have a lot of respect for the player character. Something can come out of it, I'm sure. And it would be like the easiest thing to do, but at the same time, the player character is a silent protagonist. That always makes things a little difficult. I don't know how they work around that, but hey, it's possible. Another option is either of these characters, so either Serena or Callum, with Shauna. So because of the seat in Parfume Palace, people consider this to be like the #1 shipping moment in all of Pokemon, at least the main series games. I disagree. I don't think that's the case, but hey, it's possible. I see what people are talking about. You go to a fireworks thing with a girl and, you know, she's talking about, oh, it's the first time you've seen fireworks, it's so beautiful and so nice to see it with you kind of thing. I get it, but I don't know. It's just like, if this was the problem with this is, it's like, which character are you going with, Serena or Callum, you know? Like, if you were to have a ship like this in a future title, you can't have it be both. It has to be one or the other, right? So it's like, I don't know. How would you determine who she ends up with? It doesn't make sense. That would go by the player character that you pick, maybe? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. It's a little finicky because it can be either or. And it just doesn't work like that. Maybe, who knows, right? Maybe, like, it's based upon the player character that you choose and then the opposite one is the one that she ends up with. I don't know. I really don't think it's gonna happen, but it's possible. And that's the same thing with all the rivals, right? Between the 5 rivals, I'm sure you can ship them off with one or another. There's 5, so one gets left out, but like, I'm sure you can like ship them around and, you know, kind of make it work kind of thing. But there's too many variables. And like, I mean, I guess between Tierno, Trevor, and Shauna, it's fine. If you were to pair 2 of them off with each other, right, that's fine. But doing it with either player character, it's so tough, because which one ends up being the silent protagonist, which one ends up being the rival, all that stuff, it's tricky. Between Tierno, Trevor, and Shauna, I honestly don't see any shipping between them. I think they all kept it as just friends, and you know, it was just left at that, which is fine, but there is one interesting twist that I want to throw here, right? At the end of X and Y, you're actually introduced to another character who can kind of sort of fit in this group, maybe, I don't know. You're introduced to Emma. Emma, who is 16 years of age, which I believe is the age of Callum and Serena as well. So around the age of this friend group. If you were to throw her in here, you got 3 for 3, you know? Like, there's 3 pairs to go off of. And honestly, I don't know who I would really pair her off with, because she doesn't, as far as I remember, she doesn't interact with any of the other characters. But this is a time skip. If it's in the future, it is a time skip. Maybe she interacts with Trevor a little bit more. I don't know. Trevor might be a little, maybe he's a bit younger. I have no idea. But I mean, I don't think so, because they're 16, right? I don't know. Maybe Trevor's like 14 at that time. Regardless, if it's a time skip, I feel like her and Trevor could have some chemistry. Don't ask me why. I just feel it. I just feel like that could be one of these like cool like loops that Pokemon throws us for like on a spin for, but one that makes sense. Like, not everything's gonna be predictable, right? Like, who's gonna predict Pokemon Legends ZA? Like that, I think they can throw us a curveball with one of the shippings, and I feel like it's gonna be with Emma. But a real curveball would be if we found out somehow by throughout the game that at the end of X and Y, Sycamore did indeed get with her mother. That would be crazy, because she implies, well, she doesn't imply anything. Like, she's just like, oh, his handwriting is so lovely and all of that, and you know, she just shows a little bit of affection, like that kind of thing. And it's implied she's single, like her mom is single. It's implied that like Sycamore is single, so hey, maybe, you never know. Though people typically pair up Lysander and Sycamore, but Lysander at the end of X and Y is probably a goner. I mean, there is every chance that he somehow made it out. I have no idea. See, even if he went the X and Y, the X route where he's immortal, he's probably still buried under rubble, so I don't think he's coming back. But I feel like there's every chance that if it's a future title, he does come back in some way, shape, and form. And it's just like, I don't know, he's just there. So maybe Sycamore and him rekindle friendship. I doubt it though. Like, I really doubt that's gonna happen. People typically ship Sycamore and Lysander. Similarly, I guess people ship Diantha and Lysander and Diantha and Sycamore. Totally forgot about Diantha, but I guess that could work either way. I guess Diantha and Sycamore works out really well. I don't know what the age difference would be, but I don't think it's too different. I gotta see. Yeah, I mean, their age is unknown, but I mean, they both have like the French aesthetic to them. They both got like that beauty thing going on with them, so hey, and I know Sycamore doesn't talk about it as much, but he's still got the look for it, and Lysander's all about it, but Lysander's a goner. I don't think him and Diantha will, you know. But Sycamore and Diantha, every possibility that it happens, I feel. I don't know, it's possible, it's possible. I also do feel like that if Lysander lived, it would be Lysander and Malva, you know, because Malva has like a lot of like affection towards, not affection, but I feel like she's very loyal towards him. Even at X and Y, when you face her as an Elite Four member, she's like, she wants to trample all over you because you took down Team Flare, you know, and she so shows that she's loyal to Team Flare and all that. But if Lysander's not there, I think her and Xerosic would be really, really cool. And maybe they bring back Team Flare in some way, like Neo Team Flare or something like that. I always talked about this since way back when, that Neo Team Flare will be a thing. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, who knows. But if her and Xerosic get together, maybe they bring back Team Flare from the ashes. Who knows? I think that would be a cool way to go about it. Similar to Gold and Silver Team Rocket, but more organized and planned. The last two things that I want to mention is that it would be cool to see Bonnie later, like, grow up as an adult and just see, you know, what happens. Not necessarily a shipping pair or anything, but I think she would be a very important character. And more than that, Drasna would be cool. I'm sure if it's in the future, maybe she's passed away by now, who knows. But there's a lot of implications to her family and Cynthia's family, and her being from Sinnoh. If that is the case, it could be a great tie-in to Legends Arceus, and maybe her descendants or her children or whatever are the people that we meet, and there's some kind of correlation towards the past title Legends Arceus and the future title of Legends ZA. I don't know, again, not really a shipping pair there, I can't really make anything out of it, but I feel like there's something that we could see, just want to mention it here. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. Who knows if it's a future title? Every chance that it could be a past title. We'll have to wait and see. But those are the shipping pairs that I have. Oh, and of course, oh my god, I was gonna skip all over this. Grant and Viola, how could I forget? It's the anime pair. Yeah, Grant and Viola. Everyone ships them from the anime because it's the first and second gym leader, and they had a thing go on the anime that wasn't really explored anywhere else, but it was pretty darn cute. It would be a nice homage from the games. It would be a nice homage to the anime if the game showed it off in Legends ZA, but hey, will they? I don't know, but it would be cool. It would be cool. I do ship them together there. It's a canon ship. It's a canon ship in the anime, but you know, they make it look really cool, so I hope they can bring that for a future title as well. Let's see. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you over on the next video, alright? Later. Bye.